Beacons. I sometimes would sit and wonder. Sometimes would read books or see movies, and some questions would get triggered in my mind, and whatever we're going to be discussing today was sparked by such wonder. The family identity, how culture shapes language and forges experiences across generations. I was going through my daughter's books yesterday, and coincidentally, we're talking about culture because we're preparing for their continuous assessment tests. She gave me her books to ask her questions to be sure that she had at least mastered what she was reading, and read about culture, and I smiled about it because it's exactly part of what we'll be talking about today. Culture, simply from a year 3 or year 4, year 5 perspective, is the way of life of people, right? I had to note some definitions as briefly as they could get so that we wouldn't lose you to technical jargons or registers. And I'm going to read some of them from my notes so that we would get an incline as to what we're talking about, and then rub them together so that you see how relevant they are to you as parents, not just as parents, but as beacons, as light bearers, as light bringers, as destiny shapers. Culture, the way of life of a people. Language, how we communicate, verbally, orally or verbally, the same thing, without words, our mannerisms, our gestures. You see, sometimes you give someone the bombastic side eye and then they get it. You know, as Africans, we grew up with this, should I call it arrangement, where our moms just turn and give us that side eye and we'll arrange, we'll adjust immediately. There was a lot said from just that side eye. There was a lot said from one stern long look. It told you a lot. Like a full conversation was had without words coming out at all. It was like factory setting. You would just get it. And it's funny how that look or such look was different or told different things across different scenarios. When you are misbehaving, okay, there's a guest in the house, they serve the guests some snacks or refreshments, and then you're hovering around hoping that you get a cookie or a candy, and they give you that. You know that, okay, it's time for you to vanish, just vamos, get out. And then you are misbehaving, talking too loudly, and then give you that eye again. You know that you have to keep quiet. So how we communicate, our language, what our experiences, here it is, events or occurrences which leave an impression on someone. What events have happened in your life as a person? What events are going on right now? What events are you hoping will happen that will shape the course of your life, that will leave an impression on you? All of these now bring us to the family identity. It simply says the sum total of the culture, language, and experiences of a family, which shapes the way they perceive themselves and how others perceive them. The sum total of the culture, language, and experiences, which shapes the way they perceive themselves and how others perceive them, you see. When we're talking about a family's identity, we're talking about the culture, their way of life. We're talking about their language, how they communicate with themselves and others, their experiences that now shape how they perceive themselves and how others perceive them or relate with them. Now, it's funny how we learn something this powerful in primary school and it's as if it's just social studies. We forget that the first social unit of every society is the family. The first nation, the first society of every community, of every nation is the family. You see, the way we behave, the way we communicate, the way we do things for this our culture, right, which shapes our identity. Now let me ask you, what identity does your family have? How does it affect how you relate with each other? How does it affect how other people relate with you people? You see, when a family is known to be kind, there is this untold law of reciprocity. Other people are by extension kind to them. Let me just give you this gist. I'm here right now. Before I started this shoot, I was in the kitchen and saw a big bowl of fresh green vegetables. I didn't buy those. Before I started shooting, the doorbell rang, and I'm sure it's one of the handymen around the estate that brought the vegetables. Why would he do that to me? Why would he give me? This is not the first time. We've been here for a couple of years. I'll say this is not the fifth, sixth, seventh, or 10th time he's doing that. Why will somebody who's not of the same religion, is not of the same root or ethnicity rather with me, gifts me something like that over and over again? And it's not just vegetables, It means that what it tells me is that I am loved, I am valued, I am appreciated. And this is a way of saying thank you for being you. Who am I? Really? What part of my identity informed him gifting me and my family vegetables? Why is that person not greeting you well? Why are they always frowning when you drive past? Is it an untold beef, like you don't know, but the last time you drove by the estate gate, you were rude to the guards? Or every time you drive past them, you do not even say hello, and because of that, they not just rate you at all? I'm not saying I'm the kindest there is. I'm just saying that I am giving myself flowers. I am giving my family flowers in this instance because we we have a culture of honor, right? We treat other people as special and as important. And by extension, some people treat us as special and as important too. Some people do it in, let's not even talk about it. I would have given you another instance this morning, but okay, let's just put it out there, right? This is to inspire others. And I promised you I'll be as vulnerable as I can get. I will not mention names, even though however, rather, so that I will not be telling too much. At the end of the day, somebody walked up to my husband and said, "You've been kind to me. You've been very nice to me over these years. Over the years, take this." Something happens before something else can happen. You have been kind to me. This is a gift. Sometimes you expect something without having given something before. Sometimes you are demanding something without having sown. You want harvests of kindness. You want harvests of goodness. You want harvests of niceness when you have not sown the seed yourself. I'm not saying that it is where you sow it, you will reap it. I'm not saying it is when you sow it, you will reap it. I'm not saying that you sow it because you want to reap it. I'm saying that there are laws, natural laws, that just govern our existence as human beings. And in obeying and applying these laws, our lives go a certain way. That way can be our culture. That way can, by extension, forge our identity. Because culture is very important, what culture can you create in your home? I'm going to give you three. Number one is the culture of honor. Honor for us as a family is treating other people as special and as important. From the person who cleans your shoes, your janitor, your nanny, your housekeeper, whoever it is, from your driver, from whoever at all it is, the gate guards or security people, whoever it is that lifts a burden from you, that frees up space for you, that makes sure your life is better or easier, treat them as special and as important. That bole woman on your estate junction, please greet them, treat them as as special and as important. Treat them with honor, because who knows, you may just be honoring an angel without knowing it, right? That culture is one that takes a whole lot of work, As we proceed, I'm going to tell you some ways you can cultivate these cultures. It's going to take a whole lot of work. It's going to take a whole lot of intentionality. So going to take a whole lot of reckless giving. You cannot say you value someone without showing it. action speaks louder than words, right? Action speaks louder than words. You cannot say you honor someone and then when they offend you, you lash out, you begin to insult them. It means that there will be many occasions where you must turn your cheek the other side. Like they offend you and you really would have rained down insults on them, but because you value them, because they are special to you, because they are important to you, you will zip it. You would take it. You would shut up and take it. Not because you do not have words to say in response, not because you cannot shout or your voice is not loud enough, but because this person is important and that action in that moment should not water down or strike out all the kind acts they have done before. The next culture you would be forging in your family is excellence. Yeah, the backbone on which this podcast is birthed. You must, I would say over and over again, you must cultivate the culture of excellence. Yes, I had this chat with a friend of mine, a brother of mine, some weeks back, and we're debating if excellence can be learned or if it's follow come, like if it's innate. I feel like there are people who are born with the spirit of excellence, and I also believe that people can actually cultivate it. You can learn to be excellent. Like you were not born with a certain thing does not mean that you cannot emulate those that are doing it, those that were born with it and are doing it okay and are doing a great job at it. How are you excellent? If you have followed our sessions with different guests across over time, let's say over time, you would have noticed that they have defined excellent very differently. Excellent to everyone is unique, but what has stood the same for me is continuing to get better, continuing like a progressive quest towards getting better. It is not a destination you arrive at and you say, okay, finally I am there. Somebody once said, if parenting were a destination, I'd have long arrived at where I was going to. Like, hey, you have no idea how far I still have to go. Excellence is a continuous journey. It's a continuous pursuit towards getting better. You get better today. You don't stop there. You continue. If you inculcate that virtue in your children, you keep reiterating it, you keep nurturing it, you see that over time, it will become the lens through which they see the world, become a part of them. It will become a value that they live by. The next one is honesty. A lot of people lie because they feel like, I don't have a choice. You always do have a choice. You actually do always have a choice. You can choose to die by what you believe in, stand for it no matter what, or you can choose to cower or back down at the face of trouble just to get saved in the moment. But let me ask you this: now that you have saved yourself from lying, you have saved your body, right? How about your soul? You're afraid of those that can kill the body but cannot kill the soul, so you lie. You save your neck, you save your body, but then your soul. Some people are so dead to their consciences that even when they lie, it doesn't even move them anymore. Like they can lie impulsively. They have gotten to a place of unconscious competence when it comes to lying. It comes naturally to them. It's like second nature now. Just ask them a question now. Like the part that pisses me off inside, right, is that this person is lying. This person is lying. I literally can't tell, okay, I know the answer to this question. I am well aware of all the details, yet I am giving you an opportunity to dignify yourself by telling the truth at least. And then you look me in the eye and you lie through your teeth. I'm like, oh my God. Are you not even ashamed? Don't you have a shred, an iota of dignity left in you? Why won't you just say the truth? What irks me, what pisses me off about lying is, or dishonesty is, you are calling me stupid. You feel like I don't know what I'm doing. When you lie to me, you're dishonest with me, you are outrightly calling me stupid. Like you don't have sense. You don't even know what you're doing. You don't have sense. Like you be momo. That's like it for me. But I know me. I know I'm not that dim-witty. I know I'm smart. So when you lie to me, it's not just a lie, and some people have unconsciously made this a culture in their home so that you're lying, your children are well aware, and guess what? They are learning, they are absorbing, they would imitate you someday. And this becomes a culture, a cultural legacy that you bequeath to them, and then they will pass on to generations to come. You think that it is just saying, I'm on my way, and meanwhile you have not even showered yet. It's just that small white lie. Or that you said something and somebody called you out. Okay, why did you say this thing? No, it's not me, and your children heard you saying it. You are teaching them. Okay, you have now beaten out sincerity out of them because they broke a cup. And then you said the person that broke the cup should come out. No, don't worry, I will not beat you. And then the person owns up and says, Mommy, it's me. Daddy, it's me. I actually did it by mistakenly. I'm sorry. And then you the next thing, bish, backhand slap. Next time, tell me, will that child own up and tell you the truth anymore? Yes, the person has made a mistake. Yes, the error has been, or whatever offense has been committed. But can you at least applaud them for having the courage to own up and say, I did it? Can that at least earn them less punishment? Can that show you that even if that offense was done, you are still raising a child that has honesty and integrity in them? Can that virtue in itself be rewarded? Now, how do you cultivate these cultures? Culture of honesty, of excellence, and of honor. Number one, by modeling. Monkey sees, monkey does. Show me how to do something. Tell me how to do something. I will forget. Show me how to do it, and I will remember. They are watching, they are observing. You should model the right thing to them. The next one is recognition of honor. They have done something honorable. You should recognize it. Instead of always removing bad behavior, rewarding good behavior would give it more room to get better, to get done more often. Oh, mommy was really proud of me. Yeah. Mommy was really happy when I gave that guest a cup of water when they came in. Next time, to get her to say, oh my God, that was amazing, I'll do it again. You see, if you keep rewarding good behavior and they keep doing more good behavior, guess what? You have less of misbehaviors to handle. The next one is rituals of honor. Deliberately, intentionally create the environment, the situations, scenarios, opportunities for them to see you honor people, for it to become a part of your life. Okay, you could say once every quarter, I'm going to make lunch, breakfast, or dinner for all the security personnel in the estate. And the kids and I, we go and hand the meals. I saw Nancy Omel on Instagram do that, and it really touched me. You see, that alone speaks so much volume. This is me shouting out to her and saying, "Well done, babes." She cooked. I think I saw coconut rice, fried rice, jollof rice. There was a lot of chicken and all of that, and she handed out the meals with her daughter and her son. You could see the joy the kids had when they were making the food, and when they were handing them over, the security guys, they were really very, very happy. That shows your children firsthand how to honor people. You could make it every Christmas. All the members of staff in your family, in your home, you're going to buy their children Christmas clothes or shoes. It could be around ceremonial occasions like Christmas or New Year or Easter or festive seasons, let's call them that. Or it could be something you do monthly. It could be something as small as giving a gift to someone who has done well just to honor them, right? It could be in the language, the way you talk to people every single day. You cannot wait till Christmas to buy shoes and clothes and bags for somebody who you berate every day, who you talk down on, who you insult every single day. Something as small as being polite, something as small as not getting angry or pissed or talking angrily or offensively at people can go a long way to making them feel special and important. Saying thank you really could be a culture, a ritual of honor you are creating around your home. The first one is create a safe space for honesty. When they tell you the truth, recognize it. And please, that should at least earn them mercy. All right? And your children, I'm saying, and your staff, I'm saying, and your spouse, I'm saying, and them mercy. Don't say, who was that girl that was calling you yesterday? And then he owns up and he tells her, like, I knew it. Shameless man, idiot, good for not. Next time, if you were the one, will you tell the truth? Sometimes be careful when you ask for the truth, but because you may not be able to handle it. You're not mature enough to take the truth and sit with it and separate your emotions and actually make the right decisions from there. Consistently be truthful. Make it a part of your life to say the truth no matter what. Whether there's a gun to your head, say the truth no matter what. And you should tell the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Sometimes the truth may get you killed. Who knows? Who knows, right? Who knows? Are you ready to even die for the truth that you have, that you hold, that you stand for? Maybe I should ask you that question. Is it worth it for you? That truth, can you live by it? Can you die by it? It should be something you are known for, that no matter what. I don't know if you have seen, is it housemates or flatmates? Wilberforce. I hate lies. I don't like lies at all. I hate lies. It was always the housemate or flatmate that was always telling the truth, even if it got him in trouble sometimes. The next one is storytelling and lessons. Tell them stories of people who told the truth and how that took them. Tell them people who courageously stood by the truth and probably got killed by it, so that they would even know that it's not every time the truth will set you free. Sometimes it will put you in trouble, Tell them about the Hebrew brothers who stood by the truth that they knew. Tell them about Daniel. I don't know, depending on your religion, there are stories of people who stood by their truth that really, 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 that God came through for them at the end of the day. Tell them that no matter what, whether they're going to die, the truth should be something they stand by. The seventh one is set high standards. Make the bar so high that they won't drop the ball. Make it a part of their identity to tell the truth. When the bars are high, they will not take any less. Your children will not take any less from outside. I love you, I honor you, I celebrate you, but I'm sorry I will not sit here and watch you talk to me in that manner. Because where I come from, when I err, when I do something wrong, I am talked with. I am talked to with dignity. You see, when you talk to your children the way you do, shout at them, insult them, you are setting the standard for how they should accept, or for what they should accept to be treated. How they should accept to be treated. You see, when you are talking to them because you feel like because you're older, they are less human and you can just be talking to them anyhow. You're telling them that, yes, when your teacher is talking to you like that, that's how you should bow your head in shame. You should take it like that. But when you make it a culture that, oh my God, even when you are misbehaved, it's not you that is wrong, it's what you have done that is wrong. They will hold their heads high and they will stand by what they have done. I know that I did it. I am sorry. I am ready to take whatever consequence has come with my action. But please stop talking to me like I'm a goat. Stop shouting at me like that. Even my littlest daughter, I remember when we went for teachers conference and the teacher said she was 2 at the time, 2 plus or about 3. Just going on 3. And then the teacher said that she doesn't like it when she does something wrong in the classroom and then you're shouting at her. She prefers for you to take a seat, sit down with her at the back of the class and discuss with her. Girl, you did so and so, it was wrong. How about you don't do it like that next time? And then while you're at it, she's reasoning with you, like you can see that look on her face that, oh, I actually did. And then she'll say, I'm sorry. But the moment you yell at her, oh, why did you do that? She starts to throw a tantrum and then she gets defensive too. That they are young does not mean that they don't know how they want to be treated sometimes. That they are young does not give you leverage, leeway, permission to treat them like crap. Set a standard, set it really, really high. The next one is encourage personal growth. How do you encourage something you do not acknowledge? Something you are not aware even exists. You must look out for attempts towards growth. You see, that you are not there yet does not mean that you are not in the process of getting there, that you are not making an attempt at getting there. Encourage those attempts. Stop waiting for results. Encourage efforts. Reward and applaud efforts. And someday soon, one will become two, two will become three, and you get all 10 that you're looking for. The final one is practice excellence in daily life. Excellence in the way you talk, in the way you relate with people, in the way you behave, in the way you do your things. And then monkey will see, monkey will begin to do. But if you keep doing things last minute, haphazardly, nonchalantly, oh, I don't care, with such I don't care attitude, you are modeling that to your children, and trust me, they are learning to. Let's talk about the language that you should propagate in your family. We've talked about the culture to cultivate. We're talking about the language to propagate. I have 5 here. It's funny how we use words or how we talk to people without actually pausing to understand how our tonality affects the message we are passing across. You dey Chris and you dey Chris. Yeah, they may be the same exact words, but you see the way I've said them. Oh, you dey Chris. Oh, they convey different meanings, right? The language you should propagate in your family should be of motivation. Be a motivator, not a commander. Inspire action. Yes, you can do it. Don't command. Go and get that thing done. You're not raising a military personnel. You're not training them to be boots on the ground fighting in Iran and dishing out commands. The way you talk to them will decide if they will be, number 2, bosses or leaders. A boss tells you what to do. A leader shows you how to do it. What language are you speaking with your children? Speaking to your children with? Are you speaking in a tone that inspires leadership, or are you bossing them around? You see, if you're bossing them around, you are setting the pace for how they should. You see, when your children are talking to each other, listen for your voice in their conversations. Sometimes you will hear yourself speaking when you hear them talking to each other. The way you show them love, the way you treat them is the way they will treat each other. Is the way the older one will treat the younger one. Is the way the younger one will go up and treat the older one too. So, are you leading or bossing? Is it the language of leadership you are propagating, or one of a boss? The next one is the language of correction. Be a corrector, not a shamer. My daughter, this thing you did, it's really, really not the best you could have done. I know that probably there was a lapse in judgment or a learning gap. How about next time you do it like this? This thing you did yesterday, are you not ashamed of yourself? A whole you? You mean you can do this? Oh my God, I am very disappointed in you. Pick, which one would you rather have? The one that corrects you or the one that shames you? When you shame somebody, you're showing them that they are not enough, that they are the ones that are wrong, not the thing they did. Guilt is what you did is wrong. Shame is you are wrong. Stop shaming. Stop sowing the language of shaming. Start correcting and start sowing that language. And that is what your children would learn and pass on to. The next one is inspiring, not threatening. Inspire your children by the words you speak, not by threats. If you don't do this thing, I will slap you. If you don't go there, I will give you a knock. If and I will. Yes, I am caught in that trap a lot too. Like I said, I am not sitting on a high horse. Never rely and come and say, this thing you are doing. I know my guilt areas too. And I am intentionally, every time I catch myself saying, if you don't get this done, I try to replace it. Okay, if you don't shower, I would make sure you don't. How about you quickly go and take your bath and you would get a big hug from mom? So it takes a lot of effort. Merely on this admitting to yourself that you do it is a very big, it's a very big, very, very big move on your part towards getting better. Catch yourself while at it and continue one day at a time. Should you, if once you continue, or then you can make your children your accountability partners. Every time I threaten you, could you please remind me that I'm supposed to inspire and not threaten you? The next one is building and not destroying. Build them up, do not destroy them. By don't sow the language. By not doing it, you are showing them not to do it too. They are collecting. Remember, when your child was born, he or she did not know how to say a word. Whatever language they learned from the environment you created for them. There were people who would erroneously want to use the F word or curse words around the kids when they were growing up, when they were much younger, and would be like, please, oh, we don't say all those here. Before my daughter will go and use the F word outside, and then I'll be, of course, I'll be held responsible for it. You deliberately create the environment. While some adults or grown-ups are okay with cursing, you don't, you have every right to not allow your children to be exposed to such. When they're in your house, you can tell the kids to go play, to go see a movie or something, just to make sure that come and say hello to uncle. Uncle, welcome, Sal. Kids, the puzzle you are supposed to build yesterday, are you done? Your kids will be on their jolly good way, and then they would go and do what they're supposed to do, and they will not have time to interact with the uncle. And then when the uncle notices that every time he comes to the house, you're always asking the kids to go and color, paint, play with puzzles. One day he may be forced to ask, why is it that every time I come to your house, you're always asking them to go and paint? And then you can say, I'm sorry. Depending on how much how much truth the uncle can take, you can say, please, I'm sorry. It's just that, sometimes when we talk, we kind of talk like adults. The way you put it too will make the uncle now watch himself around the children too. We talk like adults, and it's not everything we want the children to be exposed to. Our children of these are, they're very absorbent, and then they can go and start saying these things outside, and it's really not good for them. Teach them to build up and not destroy. That your maid has made a mistake doesn't mean she's a fool. Mistakes are proof that they are trying. Mistakes are proof that, okay, more learning has to take place. If you made the mistake you insulted your maid for, would you be happy to be insulted too? Yeah, some of them do not have sense. Yeah. Self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think of them as goats, they'll start to bleat around you. Think of them as pigs, they'll start to swim in the mud around you. Treat them as special and as important. Let every form of disobedience be on their part, if there would be. Let your hands be so clean that should your matter be judged anywhere, everybody will see that, true, you do your best. No, this girl, try you. Upon all what this woman did for you, have you done that much? Have you done that well enough? Now let's go on to the next one. Experiences. Now this reminds me of the immediate experience principle by Daniel Everett. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. The Pihara tribe, the indigenous people of the Amazon forest in Brazil. I was reading a part of Robert Greene's mastery, and he told about the experience Daniel Everett and his wife had amongst these people, the Pihara tribe. Him and his wife were missionaries sent to live amongst them, to understand their language and be able to transcribe it to English language. A lot of missionaries before them had gone, and then they did not make any headway. So they went to, and they were having a lot of challenges. They were having challenges. They could not really translate or transcribe the language. So with several tried and failed efforts, one day he went into the bush with them, the men, to hunt. That's Daniel. And then he realized that when they were hunting, they did not use words. they had sounds with which they communicated, and that piqued his curiosity. Why do they communicate in the village, and then in the bush they don't have words, they use sounds? And it felt like they were different people in the forest. So it dawned on him that he was trying to understand the language, the culture of a people from the outside. He wasn't a part of them. He was outside trying to look in. So he was not getting it. He decided to now stop being on the fence, sitting on the fence or looking inward from outside and really live amongst them. It was then he realized that they did not really have words for the past or the future. They only had words for immediate experiences because of the dangers of living in that forest. They were living for now. So they didn't really have folklores or stories passed on from past generations. They were just figuring things out for themselves and living in the here and now, so that one word can mean a different thing the very next minute. The immediate experience principle. For some families, you are currently living in that reality. You do not have, probably because you're not living in a forest in the Amazon, right? You're not in Brazil. You're not from the Piara tribe. Pardon me sincerely, please, if I'm not pronouncing that well. You are not from the tribe, but then you are unconsciously living like that because you feel like there's no hope for tomorrow. You are living in the here and now, and then you are passing on that experience. You are living in that experience. And that is how you are raising your children. Or some of you were raised in, and your past is not something you're proud of. You want to remember. You do not tell stories from that past. You don't even want to be associated with that past. So you are living only now, forgetting that past is still affecting how you are living right now, and projecting by extension into your future. When we talk about experiences, the past comes to mind. The past that has now become memories. What did you do yesterday? Yesterday is gone, but that has left you with memories. What are you doing right now? The present being your reality. My present right now, I am shooting this video. It was shocking to me when I learned that the present in real time is nothing more than 2 seconds. Like, it blew my mind. This present, that tomorrow, okay, in present time, your present, your reality doesn't last more than 2 seconds. So I've said that, and that 2 seconds has passed. The future for me is before I say every word, and then after I say each word, that reality has gone by, right? So what reality are you living in right now that is going to become a past for your family, for your children, for you? What future are you imagining? So we're talking about past as memories, present as reality, and future as imagination. What future are you envisaging? Are you imagining? Are you dreaming of for your family? So we're talking about experiences, talking about your past being your memories, your present being your reality, and your future being your imagination. You see, however you lived yesterday will become a bedrock on which today is formed, and a foundation, or should I say, okay, the beams on which the future can be imagined. If yesterday you went out with them, you created memories, you spoke to them kindly, today, when they make mistakes, they recall that the last time they made that same mistake, you treated them like human beings instead of animals. The imagination of the future will be, it is okay to make mistakes because mommy or daddy will treat me like it's okay. That mistakes are proof that I am trying. What experiences are you creating in your family? Now, how do you forge memorable experiences? Be deliberate and intentional about it. If you do not make conscious effort at it, it's not a miracle. It will not happen by itself. You must intentionally decide what experiences. Now, as much as Someone will be quick to say now that, you do not know the future, now anything can happen. I beg to differ. That you have God in your life, that you are discerning, that you believe in God, and you are in total submission to His will, gives you a lot of leverage. God, how do you want us to live our lives today? What is your purpose? What is your plan for our lives today? If you live in the consciousness that you are not here by yourself, that you have a purpose to live, they are purposefully living here on earth, you'll be amazed how much God will guide, not direct. When I give you direction, I am telling you go. When I guide you, I am going with you to show you all the loopholes, all the pitfalls, all the bends and curves to avoid. You see, He will guide you through each day, and every day will be memorable. Will bad things happen? Yes, they may happen, but it will be part of His plan to ground you, to teach you, to heal you, to correct you, to prepare you or prepare grounds for the next day. So that you may not know tomorrow does not mean that you are not visionary enough, or you will not have the privilege to have an incline if you trust God with your everything. Be deliberate, be intentional, have a very, very active relationship with your Maker, and He'll be able to steer your affairs and guide your path. Next one is keep learning. Learning is progressive. Learning is continuous. The day you stop learning is the day you die. Don't say that you have learned today and then tomorrow you pack up your stuff and you say, you know what, I don't tire myself every day, learn this, learn that. That you were not brought up with a lot of these things don't mean that you cannot learn from people who are consciously doing it now and be better yourself. Keep learning, throw yourself into books, into courses, into communities, associations. Associate with people who are doing better, and by all means keep learning. The next one is build and nurture a great relationship with your children. Every day forms 365 days. You started on the 1st of January. Today is the third, I think the 3rd. Okay, by the time you are watching this video, it will definitely not be the 3rd of October, but as of today's shoot, it was 3rd of October. Every day till we get to the end of the year forms 365 days. What do you do in those days? What is your relationship like with your children? There will be moments of rupture. There should be moments of repair. You will not always see eye to eye on a lot of things. You will not always be at peace with each other. Sometimes you'll be at loggerheads with each other because they temporarily want to be happy, have fun, and play while you are enforcing discipline or trying to make sure that they do what they ought to do. In that moment, you are an enemy because why are you depriving me of the joy of a moment by telling me to go and maybe shower or sleep? Something as little as sleep. It amazes me when my daughter's okay, it's time to take your nap, mommy. But I don't want to nap. I'm like, oh my God, I would give the word right now if somebody just told me, you know what, Laurie, put down everything and take a nap. It's amazing how they'll just start running around and saying, no, I don't want to sleep, or I don't want to take a bath yet. One day, one of them asked me, Mom, must we shower every day? Like, is it compulsory? And it got me thinking, but who made it compulsory that you must shower every day? If today, right now, like this morning, you are so tired, you don't shower, will you die? Let's come to think about it. Right? So build that relationship because at the end of the day, that foundation you didn't build today would, of course, affect your tomorrow. Let's not talk about tomorrow as per 2nd of January or 4th of October. Let's talk about tomorrow as per 10 years from now. You call your son, and after all the pleasantries and all the greetings, what else will you talk about? No memories were shared. You were busy raising them. So you were so busy being a disciplinarian or raising them that you forgot to forge a relationship with them. It is that relationship that would give you talking points. Do you remember the last time, that time when you were so when we went to this, oh, mommy, daddy, stop it. Memories. So many of them will come to mind. Okay, so many memories that you even want to recreate, they want to recreate with their children too. Consciously, intentionally build a natural relationship with your children. You would be happy you did in the future. I said here, take each day, one moment at a time. 365 days later, you will have an amazing past, which will inspire your present and make your imagination of the future an amazing one. You will be forging an identity, one that your children would be proud of, one that people would be eager to associate with. Everybody wants to identify with successes, right? Everybody wants to be a part of a success story. What identity does your family have? And how do they perceive? How do you as a family perceive yourself? And how are you perceived? Remember what we're talking about, the family identity, how culture shapes language, forges experiences across generations. Culture you are building today or cultivating today would affect your experience, your association, everything around you, and it affects generations to come. If I bequeath the culture of honor, of excellence, and of honesty to my children, if I create experiences in memories, in reality, and in imagination that is worthwhile for them, if I speak the language of motivator, inspiration, of leadership to them, guess what? They would extend this to their own children. And that will be passed from that generation to the next. The identity you are forging now will carry on even when you're long gone. We are not just talking about excellence in parenting on the podcast, we're talking about legacy consciousness too. As I wrap up this episode, I intend to ask you all now. Let me ask you these 4 questions exactly, precisely as I've put them down. The first one is, what culture are you cultivating? What language is this culture developing? And how is this language shaping your experience of the world individually and collectively as a family? You see, now that I've asked this, did you know that the language you speak shapes how you perceive things or the experience of the world that you have? How everywhere is broke, things are bad, can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, can make you now attracted to whiners and complainers. Oh, things can get better. I can contribute my quota to the society so that it can get better. I can solve a problem and get paid for the solution I provide. Can help you get attracted to people who are also solution providers. You see, the language you speak, the language you were handed, let me say this too, the language you were handed can actually be marring your reality right now. You must, in your journey towards reinvention, check it really. What language were you given? You may actually be speaking the language of the previous generation that spoke of survival, instead of you to now learn the language that will speak of thriving, the language of excellence. You must go back to your dictionary and start to uproot the words that are casting spells in your life that you do not want, that are forging realities or creating realities right now that you do not love, because those realities will soon become memories. Right? If you do not think the future will be better, you will never imagine a situation where things are going right with you. And the final question I have here is, what family identity are all of these? Your culture, your language, and the experiences. What family identity are all of these forging? What will your family be known for? Who will they be addressed as? What in your family will be worthy of emulation? What about your family will make somebody want to be a part of it, be happy to be associated with it? Every episode is meant to get you thinking. It's designed to get you looking at what you have right now. Is it good? It can be better. Is it bad? It can be better. I hope you've learned something from today's episode, and I hope you're sharing with your friends and your loved ones too. Do share. Stop judging. You see, I watched a podcast that shaped the way I think about people lately. I noticed that the first thing a lot of us see in people is something that probably is wrong with their physique or their dress, and then we are very judgy. I don't know about you, but I noticed that. So, how about you consciously stop yourself? Next time you see somebody, myself say, see that shoe he wear. He may have loved it. That's why he's wearing it. Reframe. See that person's bushy hair. Oh, he could be going through something. God help him. Probably that's why he has not been able to go cut his hair. Reframe. Catch yourself from judging and teach yourself to see the good in others. All right? Instead of judging that family, just click the share button and give to them this episode. I hope you do that. And for all of you who make it a culture, a habit of sharing, of commenting, of joining us in this movement of pushing excellence and legacy consciousness in parenting forward, we appreciate you, we celebrate you. And until we meet again in yet another insightful episode of the Larry Brand podcast, please stay excellent.